What's going on, Mutha Truckers? Welcome to Mutha Trucker News. We got to talk about this topic right here. A lot of times people complain about something that becomes a law. Let's talk about this when it's a bill. You know, we've done the same thing when it came to the ELD. We did the same thing when it came to the AB5, but here we got to talk about the ports, especially in California. And if you're not happy and you go into the ports every single day, then we got to talk about the situation. But beforehand, we have to highlight a truck driver. Just wanted to let you know, Alex, that I have enjoyed your channel. I started driving 44 years ago. Things have changed so much, not for the good. I have decided to end my driving career with over 4 million miles on the road, no accidents, one bogus ticket for arguing with the sheriff because he was going to give me a ticket that was wrong. I can't understand all these that want to be truck drivers wearing pajama shorts and flip-flops. Continue to give good information to drivers. Thank you, Daniel. So Daniel, he is the true mother trucker, and 4 million miles is nothing to sneeze at, and over 44 years that he's given his life to move America. So for all the truck drivers that watch this program, let's wish Daniel a great farewell, a celebration for his retirement, and thank you for your service for just keeping food, everything on the shelves for the American people. And, we definitely have to highlight you. So, he wanted this to be a personal message. So Daniel, hopefully you're not upset with me for sharing this to the world, but it needs to be said. Right here was a really big one. Tony saw this on LinkedIn, and this was a post by Chris Shimada, and he's a senior vice president for the government affairs. And so he's for the California Trucking Association, I believe. And it says, "Poor truckers, if you own leased chassis, you should be aware of Assembly Bill 3151 Gibson. This bill will give marine terminals the ability to conduct outgate inspections on all chassis regardless of ownership status. It would also allow them to seize and repair chassis you either own or lease without your authorization. If you live, work in the 65th Assembly District, Wilmington, Carson, or Compton, please let the author of this bill, ASM, Mike Gibson, know that you oppose this bill as drafted." So, I will have a link down below that you can actually raise your opinion to and let Gibson know that this bill is not good, right? We have Tony on the show today, and I want to put a disclaimer. It's not that Tony does not care about safety. It's that this is just becoming a cash grab. And I don't know what kind of bottleneck they'll do for the supply chain by inspecting every single chassis. CHP already does this. Tony even states that monthly they set up to make sure that your chassis is in great condition to be road worthy. We do our pre-trips, we do our post-trips, right? Of course, the bad actors, they need to get off the road. But Tony's not talking about that. Tony's talking about if you either own or lease your chassis, and as you're going out of the terminal, they not only can inspect your chassis, but they have authorization to fix anything they want, and then they're going to hand you a bill. Make sure if you're in California and you're not happy about this, definitely Mutha Truckers, voice your opinion. And I appreciate Tony for being on the show. Let's get into today's video. What's going on, Mutha Truckers? Welcome to Mutha Trucker News. Email us at muthatruckernews@gmail.com. We get a lot of truck drivers reaching out to us all the time, letting us know basically what's going on in the trucking industry. And I got Tony here today, and I appreciate you so much, brother, because it's one of those things where, the other day we talked about a company, a CIA that had to shut their doors after 25 years. And there's just so many regulations, government-wide, FMCSA, but California is just on its own other level. Tell us a little bit about your experience, Tony, and tell me what that's looking like. And, do you go to the ports every day? What's going on with you?
Yeah, so I started just really quick back in 2012. I guess scaled up. Wanted to do different things, so I did some dispatching operations. started my own thing. It's all in the ports of Long Beach and LA. So that's all I've known all my life. I've had family out in the high desert, Hesperia, Victorville. They were over the road drivers when I was younger. My cousin would, I'm going to shout him out, Ruben Tinajero. He would come over with his truck. Back then, he was driving a cab over. And I remember as a kid, I used to just love trucks. And so as a grown up, I had to make money. So I just hustled, worked my way up. But it's hard, man. It's, being a port driver, it's a different world, the ports, each port is different. Then from the operation standpoint, it's like nothing else in trucking. The appointments are impossible to work with, to get appointments, to get your loads out. Once you send a driver, there's no guarantees. You would assume that an appointment that you're guaranteed to get that load out. No. It is not so much the union. I'm not going to bash on the union, they're doing their thing, but it's the employer, it's the terminals that, have the setups that we have to work through. So they're just an employee there, yeah, man, in a nutshell, we're here, we're trying to survive. This bill is trying to allow for the terminals to empower them to stop any intermodal chassis, any drayage chassis, right? That is entering their terminals. If they're not roadworthy, they can stop it, they can seize it, they can do any repairs that they deem necessary to your chassis, whether it be tires, whether it be lights, whether it be crank handles, whatever they need to do, right? Just basic stuff. So it can get very costly. So that's honestly where it would hurt us, because a lot of us trucking companies, the majority invested into their own equipment for the last 2.5 years. Since there was, I don't know if you remember, you kind of reported on this, some time ago, that there was a shortage of chassis in California, right? And across the country. So that's what we're looking at here in a nutshell.
So just say you're going to the ports right now. If we're doing daily operations right now, you're not getting inspected for your chassis at all, right? You just get to go in, right? So in the future, if this passes, it's almost going to be like the port drivers have to almost go through like a weigh station. It's like every single time you go in, you're going to get inspected every single time if they want to inspect you, right?
That is correct. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. So it would be like going through the scales, pretty much. Except that these guys are incentivized to stop you because, like every one of us, they need to make money, so nothing against the honest working people of America and these guys that are mechanics, part of the terminals there. They're just doing their job, right? But they need to make hours and they need to make money. So whether it's coming from the terminals, whoever is trying to implement this, it is going to affect us because, like you said, right now, currently, they can't stop us because it's a private chassis, right? They only have contracts with the pool-a-pool chassis line, or chassis pool, as it obviously the name implies, to service their equipment, which is owned by 3 providers right now. So they can't. What they can do is they can stop you and make you flip the load, meaning that you can't exit. You would have to take off that load and exit with your bare chassis because they don't deem it roadworthy. But now they're trying to take it a step further and say, well, not only can we stop you, but we would like to get the rights to, forcibly, inspect and service your equipment.
Wow. That's, so it's one of those things where I understand safety is important, right? And there's some equipment that probably shouldn't be on the road, and we see that at times. But is this something where it's going to be random, or is it going to be they're going to inspect every single chassis on the way in and out? Is that what that bill is looking like?
Every chassis. And all I have to say, I mean, just to add to that is, if they were so concerned about safety, I mean, don't we have CHP, California Highway Patrol? Don't we have, the federal, officers enforcing, safety, they've
Mm,
at times have actually stationed outside of the terminals, checking our equipment. So it's not like this is not really being done already. They have certain days of the month where they come and do these things, especially in busy streets, main streets. So you get what I'm saying? It's understandable. We don't want trash equipment out there causing hazardous situations for the commuters out here in California and SoCal. But at the same time, it's like truckers are hurting, man. It's like
oh yeah, I
it's
think it's gonna.
dangerous.
It sounds like a big cash grab, right? At the end of the day, you don't got to say it. It sounds like a cash grab,
It
right?
is.
They're gonna come in and they're gonna ticket you, put you out of service, say you need new lights, new this, new that, and every single truck out there, every chassis, they're gonna make thousands of dollars on. I mean, what's that gonna do to the supply chain, right? And again, it is about safety. If there's some junk equipment out there, yes, it shouldn't be on the road. We both could agree on that, I'm sure. But at the end of the day, if they're just getting you for every single little thing now they're just trying to make some money. I mean, that's what that is. So no, I hear what you're saying, brother. And I appreciate you for being on the show. Mother Truckers, anyone that goes to the ports, tell me how you think about this. I mean, we always try to keep this a little open-ended. Is this something as a driver that goes in the port, is this something that you want? Do you feel more safe knowing that every chassis is getting inspected, or do you think this is a cash grab? So, no, I appreciate you for your time, brother. No, thank you.
Thank you, Alex, for everything. As always, offline here. I thank you for you obviously being a voice for us out there and just kind of representing all the truckers across the U.S. So thank you for what you're doing. You've helped me personally, like I told you offline here, with different things in my business. So thank you as well.
Oh, no, perfect, man. No, thank you so much.